Hi everyone, it's Misty from the Jolly Fat Elf, and I'm back today with the video I've been promising you, and that's how to use Twinkling H2Os. So you can see I've put down my Ranger craft mat. You just want something that's going to protect your surface because it's basically watercoloring. And then I have just a coffee cup that we don't really drink coffee. So this is an old coffee cup that we have around, and I filled it with just regular old tap water. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pick out some colors that I want to use on this piece that I colored for you guys. So I'm going to show you how these work in this video, and then the next video we're going to watercolor this. Now, if I had thought ahead, I would have stamped and colored this on watercolor paper, but I didn't. So we're gonna tread lightly, but we're gonna attempt it. So, but this video is just kind of to introduce you to them and to show you how you need to set them up. So I'm gonna pick some purples, some blues. I think this is a brown, because I'm going to make a night sky. So let me pull these out. And again, these are the mini pots. I did link to Joann's, and I'll do it in this video as well. It's another purple, but I don't know if it's dark enough. We can try it. Let me pull from the bottom. Joann does sell them in the bigger pots, and you can buy them in separate colors, and then you can also, I think they have some of these as well. So let's grab one more blue. I honestly wish I had a black, but I don't, but that's all right, because we will still make it work. And it's probably better that I don't add, oh, come on now, as much color. As you can probably hear, I am feeling much better. I'm officially done with my antibiotic, and I've been I've been using the inhaler and the, I think it's called Advair, and that has helped so much. So if you are someone who suffers with asthma on a regular basis, I give you mad props, because I've dealt with it for 4 days and I've turned into a huge baby. So what you want to do is you want to take off the lids. And then you can probably tell that this one has definitely been used. This is brand new. So what you want to do is you're going to take an eyedropper. You can also use, if you have a paint pen, like I could take this, screw this off and pour some water in it. So you can do that. Or you can use a dropper. Or you could probably even pour, but I'm kind of messy. So, and just remember, the more water you have, the weaker the intensity. But you want to start off with some at the beginning, because this needs to sit and you need to activate the pigment. Because the pigment is somewhat of a solid, and we're gonna, we need it to be somewhat of a liquid. It's like a regular watercolor pigment. So we're gonna let this sit, and while this is sitting, I'm gonna show you how I'm gonna prepare the cardstock I'm gonna use, or the watercolor paper I'm gonna use for this demonstration. So I've got a clipboard, just a run-of-the-mill clipboard. You can pick this up at the Dollar Tree for $1. And I'm going to use a piece of this Tim Holtz watercolor paper. And I'm actually going to do two pieces. I'll show you the smooth side, and I'll show you one with the not so smooth side. So I showed this in my color medium. I know, whoa, it just got like really dark in here on camera. What the heck? So this is the non-texture, I mean, this is the textured side, and then this is the smooth side. So I'm gonna take some run-of-the-mill packing tape, not packing tape. Oh, what is this called? Painter's tape. And I just need enough to tape them down. If I was doing more than this, I would, you know, take time, mask it off, blah, 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 blah. But it's just for demonstration purposes. Now, I may use these as backgrounds in future things, but not in this. So that's how I'm going to use the paper when it doesn't have an image. When it has an image, I'm going to use masking fluid. Let me see if I can find it. It's also called Liquid Frisket, I think is what it's called. This is from, I picked this up at Michael's. It was kind of expensive. I'm not going to lie to you. I think this bottle was $15 or $20, and I used a 40% off coupon, and it was like, came to 10. Jennifer McGuire did a video, and she used rubber cement. Now, I don't have that. I've never bought it, so I don't know how that works. But this masking fluid works great. So let me grab, you're going to want an Ode brush that you don't care gets messed up. So for me, that's this one. You can probably tell that it's got a grungy tip. So I don't know if you can see that. I'm going to bring in my paper. And let's see, I don't think we have to shake this up. Do, 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 do. Do, 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 do. Nope. So you're just going to open it up. Come on. Come on. What in the world? There it goes. Okay, so you can kind of see the consistency that it will be. So let me, do I have a napkin? No, I probably need a napkin. I'm not prepared for this at all. I'll tell you why I'm not prepared for this video. I was going to wait and film this video tomorrow. But all of the weather people are saying that we are in for some really dangerous storms tomorrow. And when they start throwing that word around, the Oklahoman in me starts freaking out a little bit. So I'm worried we may lose electricity or whatever, and I won't be able to. So I think this may be too thick. We'll try it. So you just get a little on your brush. Maybe I'm supposed to shake it. I can't remember. And I can't read it. Hey kids, this is another one where Misty doesn't know what the heck she's doing. Okay. Okay, so there we go. That's more like it. And then you just paint a thin layer wherever you don't want color. Hopefully you guys can see that. Let me zoom in a little bit. And hopefully I don't ruin this cute little... I don't think you're supposed to shake this. Oh, I don't even know. I'll look it up, see if I can find the directions. Okay, I know you're looking at this going, what in the heck? So I'm going to take and just dab, whatever you want to say. Some little stars. And we may not end up using this whole thing, but we may. So, okay, so I know it looks like a hot mess right now, but we're gonna set this to the side and we're gonna let this dry. You wanna make sure that you clean off your brush as best as you can. It's probably not a good idea to use the same water, but I'm going to, so we'll see what happens. And it's very important that you get your lid back on very tight. So I'm gonna put this to the side to dry, and then I'm gonna bring in the H2Os, and they've been setting for about 15 minutes. So let's bring in the brush. So all you have to do is stir it up. You don't have to worry too much about colors mixing because they are such dark colors, but I am going into the water and at least rinsing it off between each one. You can really see that one change. It's so cool. It looks blue on the screen, but it's definitely purple. Like a very royal purple. I wonder why it's so blue on the screen. That's weird. I don't know. Sorry, excuse me, I keep clearing my throat. Okay, so let's bring in the paper. Again, we have a smooth side and a not so smooth side. So let's try it on the not so smooth side. So I'm just gonna stir again. This is blue. So that's the not so smooth side. And this is the smooth. And you can see that with not a whole lot of water, It's very, very pigmented. It's actually really pretty. So that's with it, with just a little bit of water. Let's add a little bit more water, and then you can see what it looks like when we water it down some. Okay, let's move to the next blue. We'll do the purples last. So just remember to stir it up. And then this is the next. Oh, this almost looks purple, but it's blue. Maybe I just thought it was blue. So that's on the textured side. And this is on the non-textured side. It's definitely purple. It looks blue, but it's definitely purple. So let's take this purple. And then we'll take it over here. Look at that color, it's so pretty. Excuse me. Yeah, I don't know how well this is gonna work. Well, we're gonna give it a try though. And then finally, the last purple. These almost look the same exact color. Maybe they are. They could be the same exact color. They kind of look like it, don't they? Okay, so now I'm going to add water to the rest of the colors. And we'll let it sit just a little bit longer. That last one doesn't need any more water. So here's that blue again after we've watered it down a little bit. You can tell it's not quite as vibrant. Okay, so let me heat this and then I'll show you the shimmer. Shimmer, shimmer, shimmer. Okay, so hopefully, yep, see that shimmer? It's so pretty. It's so much prettier in real life. I wish you could really see it in person, but dang. And it really shows up once it's dry. Like, it's so pretty. Oh yeah, you can really see it right there. So pretty. So pretty. So I'm gonna go ahead and bring in a block. And I'm gonna take this off. Take these off. Look at that. See that shimmer? Oh my gosh. It's so delicious. It's so pretty. So there's that one. And here's this one. Okay, so, oh, I meant to show you what they look like watered down. Let's see. I've kind of already showed you that one, so let me show you this one. So again, you just mix it up. See how much lighter that is now when you add more water to it? So that one is this one. So you can really get some variation of color, and then you can add, you can add more to make it darker. So it really is pretty. The lighting on my camera is freaking out because it's not giving you a true color whatsoever. That's all right. You'll see it in the pictures. Okay, so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna bring in our piece, and most of it's dry. And if it isn't. So the great thing about this stuff is you can just kind of roll it and it'll come up. So unfortunately I can't get it too wet because it's not watercolor paper, but we can trim it down if we need to. So I'm gonna do the top and at the bottom. Okay. I'm gonna take my basic black marker because I do need some depth. I want a dark color, and unfortunately I don't have a dark enough H2O, so we're gonna try an experiment. We're gonna see how this works. So I'm gonna start at the bottom with my blues. And again, this isn't watercolor paper. This isn't the one I wanted to start with. That's all right. The good thing is, these colors will blend. And can you see it when it goes over the image? See how it's pulling up? That's because it doesn't have anything to absorb into. So it's not absorbing into any paper because of the masking fluid. Okay. I'm gonna switch to a bigger brush. And I've got some places around, like around the star and around her head where I put too much, but that's all right. So we're gonna blend this, and then I'm gonna pick up my last color. I'm gonna pick up some black with it. And see, we made it darker. Then we'll come down and blend those together. And then I'm gonna clean my brush. And I'm gonna clean off my block. And I'm gonna add some more black. And at the top, I'm going to add in this black. Okay, that's all you get to see for right now. I'm going to add in a little bit more black. Again, I can't add too much because it's not watercolor paper. I'm just scribbling on my block like that. Gonna pick it up and then add it in. And then blend it down. Again, I'm not a professional. I just play one on TV. Okay, so I am done with this image. It needs to dry. Now, for your paint pots, you need to let them dry without the lid on. And this is where it can get a little messy. If you put the lid on before they dry, you will not be able to get that lid off. For some reason, when it dries, it creates a vacuum. Somebody probably knows the science behind it. I sure as heck don't. And when it creates that vacuum, it makes it, it's impossible to get the lid off. So what you gotta do is just set them to the side. I normally put them on the far side of my desk where they won't get moved, bumped, and just let them dry. It takes about 3 days for them to dry where I feel like they're not gonna make a mess or they're not gonna seize up on me. I'm just cleaning off a spot on my desk to put them. And then I put the lids on. So I'm gonna pop them over here where they're not in the way. They can dry. And you can use these, make a million different projects until you're ready. So this is what the shimmer looks like again. So the next time you see me, we will finish up this picture for Festive Friday. Hi everyone, it's Misty. Welcome back to another Festive Friday video. If you watched yesterday's video, you watched me use the Twinkling H2Os on this background. And if you missed it, let me show you the Twinkling H2Os. You're gonna wanna catch that video because these things are awesome. So what I did is I let this dry, and you can probably see that it's peeling just a little bit because I didn't use watercolor paper, but that's to be expected. I think it gives it some texture, and you can see all that shimmer and shine. So what we need to do now is we need to remove the masking fluid. So the way you're gonna do that is you're just gonna rub your finger on it. And it will pop right off. My stars aren't quite as random as I was hoping they would be. So, as you can see, I have some areas where there's a lot of white. So I'm going to bring in my small brush . I'm going to do my best to color in around it. And it doesn't exactly match, but a part of me is like, it doesn't need to, but a part of me is like, yes, it does. So I'm gonna scribble some black on my, and I'm gonna pick up some of the black. I'll probably make a big old mess out of this. But you know what? It's okay if it glows, because it's the North Star, right? Okay, and then you can tell that I got a little bit around her head. So let me keep pulling off the masking. And hopefully this worked the way it was supposed to. Oh no, it got through her face. Dang. That wasn't supposed to happen. Well, if I'd done it correctly, I just didn't get enough on her face. It's like, I don't think I can fix that. I don't think there's any coming back from that. But let's do the background. Okay, if you were going to do this, my suggestion would be, number one, use watercolor paper. And number two, just be very careful where you put the masking fluid, because that was my problem. That's where I screwed up. Although I kind of like this. It looks like a shadow on the back of her. Just dabbing it with a cloth. Okay, let's see if I can fix this face. Because if I can't fix the face, she can't go on a card. So I'm going to bring in Crisp Cantaloupe, which is a good flesh color that is actually retiring. If you didn't see that video on Wednesday, it's leaving us. It will be missed. It's my favorite color to use for like Caucasian flesh tone. Oh yeah, Misty, you just made it worse. Maybe not. Can you guys see those little purple dots? Maybe I could use a brown and make them freckles. do that. Let's make them freckles. Let's kind of blend this out. So there's not such a harsh line on this side. So there's the shimmer. You can see that. I think it's gonna, I'm gonna be able to do this. I'm gonna do this. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna clean up my surface, and when I come back, we will finish this card. So I'll be right back.